And today we're going to talk about extracts from primarily the book Job Hunting 3.0,
That's right.
Secrets and Skills to Sell Yourself Effectively in the Modern Age. So in this book, Richard, you talk about 3 job hunting secrets, as you term them, and I found each of the secrets was very powerful, and I know that our listeners are going to find it extremely useful. So maybe if we start with the first secret, do you want to have a big reveal and tell us what the first secret is?
Yes. The reason behind the 3 secrets, I should say, is that I think the national sport is trusting to luck. And if you unpick these secrets and make good use of them, then you will be head and shoulders above the crowd. So the first secret I have is P for passion. Secret number 1 is passion. And the reason for picking on this is that if you have lots of people who are going for a job, they may have very similar backgrounds, they may have very similar CVs, and yet it's how you present yourself to a potential employer is what will clinch the job for you. And of course, when we talk about passion, it's very easy to say, oh, I'm passionate about a football club, or I'm passionate about the latest pop group or something. And lots of people, unfortunately, fall over if they're asked the question at an interview, tell me what you're passionate about. And they say, oh, I'm so passionate about working in office supplies. I can't believe that I'm having this interview. And it's just fake, quite frankly. And so we are talking about genuine passion here, genuine deep-seated enthusiasm. That's what we mean by passion.
How can you put that across in an interview situation without it sounding, as you said, like a reality TV show going, oh, wow, that's so amazing?
Well, that's a good point you make, and I'm sure we've all seen various reality TV shows where people are so passionate you want to weep, really. And I suppose the way of getting it across is to be genuine. Lots of people seem to manufacture passion in the moment, and it's not founded on anything. So if I really was passionate about working in office supplies, I might well have been to an office supplies conference. I might well have read several books about how wonderful they were and how they were invented. I will have spent a lot of time researching the company. I might have done voluntary work, working in the office supply sector on a voluntary basis. Because I'm so keen to break into that market, I want to know about the market. I want to have known who the movers and shakers are. And that level of enthusiasm starts to show through, because if you say to somebody, I'm very passionate, their next question is going to be, prove it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got stories you can call on and say, well, I was at the conference last week and I was speaking to so-and-so about it. I used to work in a corner shop and I've got a huge collection of staples and things. The fact that you've got I know I'm making it fanciful, but the point is the process is the same for anything. If you've got the detail and you've got a bit of experience, then that convinces people. So you need to have that background to it, because you all know if someone's passionate about the local football club, they will have programs, they will have been to matches, they know who the captain of the team is, and therefore, if you have that level of backup, you can convince somebody.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And thinking back to interviews that I've had which have gone well, have been for, as you mentioned, jobs that I'm interested in and passionate about, and then ones where I can remember it was a graduate scheme for a credit card, a well-known credit card, and I got put forward for it by a graduate recruiter, and I wasn't particularly interested in it. And the feedback naturally came back that, well, you did really well on the competencies, but we didn't really get the why you wanted to work here, which was entirely true, because I wasn't passionate about the company.
No, and you see, that's a good point you make. You weren't passionate about it, and the point of passion is that it's a risk-reducing factor. People seem to forget that hiring someone is incredibly risky, it's fraught with danger, it's going to cost them tens of thousands of pounds, so that what they absolutely don't want to do is make a mistake. Therefore, if you've got someone who maybe hasn't got the best grades, hasn't necessarily got the best degree qualification, but just comes across as being someone they can do business with, a likable, energetic, enthusiastic person, then they're much more likely to take a risk on you.
An American friend of mine is married to an English guy, and she says, generalizing, that all English men are emotionally suppressed. How would you recommend for those emotionally suppressed men to demonstrate that passion? Because it tends to be bred out of us at at quite a young age.
It does indeed, actually. It's a good point you make. I think you've got to have, if I say your heart in the right place, what I mean by that is you have to value yourself. And you have to say to yourself, I'm okay, I have a right to be here, I do enjoy this subject, and in fact I am going to share that subject with the other person. So if you're going into a job interview with your head down saying, I'm never going to get this, I can't sell, it's all rubbish, then you might as well turn around and go home. So I don't mean to oversell, but by all means you must look at yourself and think, do you know what, I do like this, I want to share it. The other thing that does make a difference is if you hold eye contact and smile. It's very easy when you're going for a job interview to answer the question and have your eye bouncing all over the room, and that doesn't help you at all. I mean, go to a nightclub and try and chat someone up and don't make eye contact with them, and you'll just come across as being a bit creepy. So the same applies. I mean, it's true. People forget that what they do in life they can take into an interview environment. So you make eye contact and you take a breath and say, I love writing books. It gives me enormous satisfaction to see the end products. I research them. I spend hundreds of hours honing the text, and it's something I really enjoy doing. And now you can hear the smiling in my voice as I'm saying those words. I'm speaking the truth. I'm holding that space. I'm smiling as I speak, and the whole package adds up to I'm talking the truth and I'm passionate.
Conversely, then, would you recommend that people don't apply for jobs where they don't have that passion, or should they try and generate that passion or become passionate about it, or to fake it?
Well, I would never say fake it because you're going to get found out. The trick is to find something to be passionate about. Now, I've coached people in a whole number of different organisations, factories, hospitals, some are clean, some are dirty. And it'd be very easy for me, if you like, to wrinkle my nose a bit and think, oh gosh, this is an unclean engineering business, for example's sake. However, if you're passionate about manufacturing, if you're passionate about working with people, if you're passionate about working in the insurance industry, or if you particularly like maths and you think, I'm really passionate about the numerical side of this job, then it's finding that thing to be passionate about. So if we take insurance as an example, you could say to yourself, on one hand, it's quite a quiet office environment. People don't do cartwheels around the office. What is there to be passionate about? However, you could say, actually, you're enabling people to drive and to insure their houses. You're providing emotional sort of support to them because having insurance provides that. It involves numbers and statistics. So you might find you enjoy those things. And once you start to hone in on the detail, you can be passionate about the detail and focus on that. And then people will extrapolate from that and say, gosh, that Richard Maun, he loved talking about numbers and things. I've never met someone so animated.
That's true. I'd not thought about it like that.
But it's that sense of you can find the passion in anything. If you think of it at a basic human level, everyone's got skill and talent, everyone's got goodness, and it's about finding that. And you can do that in any job you walk into. So the trick is to know the things that you personally are engaged by, that really makes you smile and think, oh, I really enjoyed that. And when the interviewer asks you a question and says, so Richard, you did a geography degree, how does that relate to working as a coach, for example's sake? Which sounds like a bit of an oddball question, but I believe you, I have been asked it. And I say, well, actually, geography is about spatial awareness. It's about having a multidisciplinary approach. And being a coach requires me to understand what's going on in my environment and be able to think about both the numerical side of things, the strategic side of things, and so on and so forth. Now, you can hear in my answer there that I genuinely believe all that stuff. I love geography. I love working as a coach. And I'm just talking about something that I feel strongly about.
Excellent. So, listeners, secret number one is passion.